Do you trust Google? Do you use external hard drives or SSD cards? What do you use? Write it down below. Google is an amazing company. Google's been going on for a long time. When I say a long time, it's really not that long. It started in a garage, and Google has really hit it out of the park. Google, if I'm straight up and honest with myself, Google helps me. If I don't know how to spell it, he helps me spell it. If I don't know how to describe it, he helps me figure it out. Many times it comes back and it says, do you mean this and this? And yes, oh, I click the button. Google is a solid company. Google has a lot of parts to it. I've got a small list. They all start with Google. Google Ads, Google Analytics, Google Books, Flights, Finance, Shop. Wait a minute. Ads, Ads Manager, Calendars, Chats, Docs, Drive, Chrome, Cloud, Translate, Maps. Where does it stop? Sky, Moon, Mars, Cars, Android, OS. It goes on and on. And on the developer side, it's longer. There's so many tools that they offer, so many services that they offer. Google is an incredible company. Now, what's going to happen one day if you go to Google and it's not there? What will happen? You know, you go and you log in and you're going to, wait a minute. Okay, Gmail, right? And it's not working. What then? What do we do? You know, Google is the largest search engine in the world. Hands down. They've got more searches, more things going on than any of the other ones. Nobody's even close. There's one that's close. And maybe we can try that one. YouTube. And when you click into that, well, wait a minute. YouTube's not working. What do we do when Google doesn't work and YouTube doesn't work? You punch harder. No. You know, they're very important. A lot of people use Google Docs. A lot of people use all sorts of services that Google provide, such as Gmail. Gmail is a free account. Can you imagine? It's a free account. It always has been a free account. It's unlimited. You can put the data you want on there. It's huge. I've got a Gmail account and I don't believe I've ever deleted anything, ever. It's amazing. And so what do we do when Google gets mixed up? Not long ago in my house, I've got two Wi-Fi connections, and I learned something. They're close together, and the communication wasn't happening the way it should, and some of us in the house weren't getting the proper signals properly, and it was not working real well. So we separated them. And in separating them, the communication went out a whole lot better, and it solved the problem. Now, does Google need to do something like that? Like, they've got so many things under their house that it's just incredible. So wouldn't that help? Or is it just not necessary? But here's another scenario. Just Gmail. Yeah. What if Google had an accident? What if Google piled up and something terrible went wrong and you couldn't get into your Gmail? You couldn't get into your Docs. You couldn't get into your YouTube and all the other services it provides. What do you do? Years ago, we did this. We had external hard drives. That's what we had. And there were even shiny ones, and cables and cables and cables. That's what we had. Well, today, I'm not using Google. I've got an SSD card. 2 terabyte. Fits in my pocket well, and it works good. That said, I know a lot of people that trust in Google. You know, Google, after all, it's Google World. It's a great program. Google Earth, it's incredible. But what if there's a problem? What if it doesn't come together the way it should? This has happened recently. We've all read about it in the news, where they were down for 5 hours in different parts of the world. Now, I understand the AI section of it just wasn't gathering things properly and sorting them the way it was supposed to, but they figured it out. And I'm sure there was a lot of hot heads going around that day. So anyway, when when things like that happen, it's very, well, who do you blame? You know, it's very uncomfortable. Of course, we've got a lot of people we can blame. And the blame game is what a lot of political people do. The blame game is a lot of what some coworkers do. You know, the reality is sometimes you just got to chill. But if there's any way that we can blame anybody, well, that's going to happen for sure. None of these countries in any of these maps, I'm sure, would not be playing the blame game. No, they're, you know, why would one country on this side of the world want to mess up YouTube on that side of the world, or Gmail, or whatever? But perhaps some people would like that to happen. We hope not. Google is a solid company. Google has come a long way, and they really do have a lot of their ducks in a row. Now, there are what appears to be a lot of violations on personal information and so on. But the important thing is they are capitalizing on it. They're getting good money for it. You look at the building that they have in California, it's incredible. It's a lot bigger than the garage that they started out in. So that said, you know, I'd like you to tell me what you think. Do you use an SSD card? Do you use the old style of memory? What do you use? Do you use Google? Do you use another one? Write it down below. Thanks for being with us.